Hey everybody, thanks for stopping by today. I'm having a pretty good time with this new Set 7 stuff, so I figured I'd just keep this going and go from there. But yeah, today, if you haven't been able to tell, I've decided to go with Agent Kallus for this one. And yeah, I don't know why, but my screen is not. Anyway, sorry. On my side, it looks weird, so I'm just trying to adjust it. That's neither here nor there. How you doing, friends? I hope that you guys are doing well. I hope that you're enjoying a lawless time spoiler so far. Been having a pretty great time with this. I feel a lot better now about the set and rotation in general. So I was a little bit worried at first, some of the spoilers when they were first coming out. I wasn't thrilled. Just basically the set leading into rotation, I just didn't see enough. But I'm starting to come around now, and I really like what I'm seeing. And I'm actually looking forward to a lawless time. It looks pretty fun. Some of my friends have kind of shown me the light on this Kallus leader. It looks pretty good. And today I figured I'd cover that. Before we dive in, I don't know if I've introduced myself yet. I'm Stone Rain Productions. Feel free to call me SRP. Been doing this for about 4 or 5 months now, and hope that you guys are enjoying this anyway. The reason why I don't do gameplay stuff is just because I'm trying to get in with FFG if at all possible. I do broadcast. Well, I have done broadcasting stuff in the past too, so I'm kind of hoping that at some point I would love to be able to do broadcasting for them. So anyway, FFG, if you're watching, hello, call me. Anyway, enough rambling. The whole like and subscribe thing, if you want to, no pressure. Let's take a look at our leader, as we normally do here, and see what we've got with this leader. And then we'll go through all the cards and we'll explain everything, the reason why I picked all the specific cards. Today we're going to try Agent Kallus, which is a Vigilance Villainy, and we're going to pair that with the red 4 space. Agent Kallus's action is pay 1 and exhaust him. Play a card from your hand, ignoring its aspect penalties. So this could potentially come in pretty big, whereas, we could potentially be paying 4 or 5 less with this Agent Kallus ability, which seems worth it to me, paying 1 more. On the backside, he deploys on 5, and he has 3/6, so stats are not great on the back, but he retains his ability, except you don't have to exhaust him. You just pay 1, and then you can ignore aspect penalties. And also, it gains, when you play a heroism card, heal 2 damage from your base. So that's definitely something pretty big that we want to get out of this. On the front side, when we play a heroism unit, we're going to heal 2. So it's pretty cool. And I like this quite a bit. We're able to splash into all sorts of different aspects. And we're pairing this with the red 4 space because we've got a lot of 4 synergies here. It's got some similarities to something like a Talzin, but it's definitely quite a bit different. Let's go over the cards here. I'll explain why I picked everything. Starting off with 2 copies of Witch of the Mist, just because it's a force card and it's got hidden. I want to almost be able to guarantee that we're going to have the force on turn 1 because it's pretty important in this deck. So I decided to go with this. You could play with the other one, the 2-drop. That's just a Sith. I forgot the name of it. But it's a 1/3, and when you deploy it, you get the force. But I like having a force unit, so I decided to go with this. It's very flimsy at 1 cost, but I figured also we might be able to get in some other stuff with us being able to play a 1-drop. So could be playing it later on later terms. I'm running 2 copies of Sorcerous Blast. In the past, I haven't been super huge on this, but since we're rotating, I think that this has a much bigger chance to shine now, with the card pool shrinking quite a bit and kind of an unstable meta. We don't really know what to expect yet. I think that this could go a long way. 1 cost for 3 damage. Yes, we are losing our force token, but we can get it back pretty easily with this deck. So I'm trying it out. I did play a couple of games with this so far. For some reason, one of the online clients was bugging out when I was trying to play this, so I only got in like 2 games with it. But I had a lot of fun. I did pretty well. I've got 3 copies of Kallus. I think this is pretty much a must play in this deck. 2 cost 2/4, and it has when defeated you may use the Force. If you do, give a unit -2/-2. I think negative, these -X abilities are certainly much better after rotation as well too. We've got another card coming up later. I'm sure you can probably figure out what it is, but that utilizes that -X as well. Secretive Sage is probably our best turn 1 play just because it's a 2/2 shielded with the Force tag. It's more than likely going to be able to get in and get us the Force at the very least. I'm also going with 3 copies of Sorcerous Acolyte. It's a 2 cost 2/4. That kind of seems to be the gold standard now for 2 drops, unless it has something like a shield. But yeah, really that's the main reason for it, is just because of the 4 toughness. We're almost always going to be able to get in and get the Force with this unit, so I figured it's worth it. Into the world of 3 drops, we're running 2 copies of Grand Inquisitor. I like this card a lot. The only thing that I'm not crazy about is, well, it's just got the Force tag, and there's no other really Inquisitors in here, so we're not making much out of this. It's really going to be a 3 cost 3/4 with raid 1 and hidden. So it's good. It's not the absolute best or anything like that. We're also running 3 copies of Marin in here. I like this card. It's a 2/5. It's pretty sticky. If we want to use the vernacular, it's hard to get off of the game area. It's just tough to deal with in the early turns anyway. But this is a 3 cost 2/5 on attack. We can discard a card from our hand. If we do, we get to deal 2 damage to a unit. This has been very good, as I expected it would be so far, and I definitely like it. We're trying to keep as many Force units as we can. We want that critical mass for our Force base, so that when we attack with something, we can get the Force right back. I am running 3 copies of Obi-Wan in here, and again, just to kind of reiterate, we're going to be paying 4 for this Obi-Wan because of Agent Kallus' ability. We'll pay 1 and exhaust him, and then we'll be able to deploy our Obi-Wan. So the reason why I wanted to stick with this Witch of the Mist is primarily because of the Obi-Wan. And I know it's just kind of a small sample case here, but say we've got 5 resources, we can do our Obi-Wan, and if we need to re-trigger Sentinel for some reason or the next turn, we can just play the Witch of the Mist if we need to. It did come up in a game once, and I was really glad I had a 1-drop where I was on 5, and I didn't have a lot of cards left in hand, so I played this, and then, no, sorry, it was the next turn. So I drew something like a Sorcerous Blast, and then the Witch of the Mist, and when I played this, it's a 1-cost way to enable the Obi-Wan again, because it says when a Force unit is played against Sentinel. So one really sneaky good card in here, and it just seems so weird that it's in this deck, is this Opal Rancissus. Because of the double green, and we're not even running green. But with Kallus, we can play this for 4. You get to ignore all the aspect penalties on there. And really just briefly what this will give us. It will give us Ambush, which we have on Darth Tyrannus. We've also got Grit. I don't think any of our cards have Grit. Nope. Okay. Hidden. We do have Hidden. Overwhelm. I don't think that we've got Overwhelm in here. Nope. Saboteur. I don't think we've got Saboteur. We definitely do have Sentinel, and we do have Shielded. We do have some units with Raid in here too. I don't believe that we've got any Restore. But anyway, it's got a good majority of these keywords. So depending on what we've got, if we've got a Chirrut and we've got a Darth Tyrannus it's now going to be a 4-cost 3/5 shielded ambush sentinel, which is pretty cool. So kind of getting in there and ambushing something, do the shield trick where we ambush and then do the shield, and now it's a sentinel with a shield. It's pretty cool. I've only got it in play once so far. Again, I had some weird bug. I couldn't keep playing online. But I really liked this slot. I was pretty impressed with it. And I think that if we kind of built around this a little bit more, it would absolutely shine more. I did forget there is a card with Restore over here, this Kanan, and we'll get to that in just a moment. So we can enable the raid off of this. Oh, sorry, the Restore off of this as well. But anyway, moving on to the next card, we've got 3 copies of Chirrut. I really like it when we can play Obi-Wan and Chirrut because they're just very annoying cards to deal with, and it's kind of neat being able to run them both. I know there are some cases where you can, but I just love it. It's just super annoying. Chirrut, for those that are not aware, is 4-cost 3/5 with Sentinel. When this unit is attacked, you can use your Force token, and if you do, the attacker gets -2, -0 for this phase. So, or for this attack. So it's pretty good. It's very difficult to kill. I love Darth Tyrannus, and we're running it in here. We got 3 copies of it. 4-cost 4/3, shielded with ambush. Pretty simple, but very effective unit for sure. I really, really, really like this Kanan in here. And just a side note, to remember, this is going to cost 5 for us to play with Kallus's ability. 3/4, restore 1. And then this has, when played, you can return a unit that costs 2 or less to its owner's hand. And then if you control a command or aggression unit, you can return a non-leader unit that costs 4 or less to its owner's hand. So it's just a very good card. We're really getting a 3/4 with a waylay stapled onto it, so no downside really. From there, we've got 2 copies of Ki-Adi-Mundi, just another way to draw some cards. Again, since this is heroism, we're going to be spending 5 to play this, which I don't think is unreasonable. 5 cost 4/4, that draws us 2 cards. It's pretty decent, so I like it. It's been good so far. I haven't had a lot of sample sizes, so again, I had some weird glitch, and I'll try it again after this video, but I did have fun in the games that I played with it at least. Talzin's Assassin has been amazing. So far I'm not super impressed with the events and upgrades for removal. So I really like the unit-based tricks to get rid of other units, potentially. I was really considering playing the Mace Windu in here, but at 6 it's kind of pushing it, so at 7 I don't know if I want to do it, and I decided not to for now. But I am running 3 copies of Shatterpoint since we do get the Force pretty regularly. I don't know, it just still doesn't feel great to use the Force to get rid of something that Takedown would have gotten rid of for the same cost. I don't know, it just kind of feels a little bit bad. I'm really hoping that there's better removal options, or at least damage-based removal options that are a little bit better, like an open fire or something. Our other -X unit here is Anakin, which I'm sure you saw coming. But since we can use both heroism and infinity cards, we're going to be able to trigger both sides of this. 6 costs 5/7. If we've got a heroism card in our discard, we get to give a unit -3/-3, and same goes for villainy, -3. So we can do the same unit, we can do 2 different units. We don't have ambush in here, but I still like the Darth Vader unit, and I still think it's passable even without ambush. The only real way that I'm aware of to give Vader ambush at the moment is with cunning. And so I think that we'll probably start seeing some cunning decks with Xian Flurry, or I forget the name of the other one, the cunning villainy card costs 1, and that's only if our opponent attacked with our base with a unit. Anyway, this is a 6 cost 5/6. When played, we get to give a shield token to a friendly unit and to an enemy unit, and on attack we get to defeat an enemy unit with a shield token. there are some feel bads where you give something a shield and they just play something and destroy it, but really there's not a lot of Shatterpoint type effects running around at the moment. No vanquishes, none of that stuff. So it seems like it's at least passable. I know this is definitely much, much better with the ambush, but it's still been pretty okay, and testing it at the very least. I'm running 2 copies of Keller and Beck because it's just a great pickup, our catch-up mechanic if we need to. One of the fun things is I actually played the Keller and I got the Oppo Rancis on here. It was pretty fun. But, I mean, there's other cool stuff you can get, like the Obi-Wan is great. And remember, if you get something that costs more than 3, you can pay the difference if you've got it. In one of the games, I don't know why, but it completely slipped my mind. I played him, and then I got a Darth Tyrannus. I'm like, oh, yeah, how am I playing this? And I'm like, it costs 3 less, and I had an extra resource lying around. Anyway, 7 costs 7. It's going to cost 8 in our deck because we're playing Kallus. When played, we get to search the top 7 cards of our deck for a unit, reveal it. It costs 3 less to play. Then you just shuffle the cards and put them on the bottom of your deck. Just a great catch-up card if you're behind. I'm trying 1 copy of the Sun. I haven't drawn it in the games that I've played so far, but 7 costs 6 to 8. Stats are okay. While the Force is with you, each friendly unit gets +2/+0. I really like this a lot. I don't really anticipate this coming out a ton, but this definitely fits what we're trying to do with the deck for sure. And lastly, I've got 2 copies of Yoda in here. I think this is a really great card for a deck like this that's primarily villainy. Just remember, we'll be paying 9 for this because of the Kallus ability. But it's an 8 cost, 5/9. When played, we can use the Force. If you do, you get to heal 5 damage from base. And when you use the Force, you may deal damage to a unit equal to twice the number of units you control. So it's just a good way to heal yourself up and also deal some damage to a unit, which is always beneficial. And yeah, that is our Kallus list for today. And yeah, I'm going to try to get in and do some more testing with this, but I've been having fun so far with the limited experience I've had. I was testing a Vader deck, which is probably going to be coming out on Sunday, and I got in more games with that. That was before I was having issues with the site or my computer, one or the other. Anyway, thanks so much for stopping by, friends. Really appreciate it. Appreciate all the kind words. Just want to say, may the Force be with you. Appreciate all the kind words and the nice feedback. And yeah, I guess we'll see you next week. Hope you guys are well. Take care.